Hello, welcome to Cymatic TV. This is going to be an energy update on the 30th of March. There's been loads going on. I haven't done this for about sort of 10 days. As per usual, I'm running around like a blue ass, what's it called, and life has been very hectic. I don't know about you guys, but certainly over this last sort of week, there's been a load of activity on the sun, and we are finally into solar maximum by the looks of things. It's definitely had a change of energy. So it's a lot more vibrant. They're continually vibrant. That's the thing, that's the difference. We're not waiting on flares as such anymore because they're here. And we've had sort of 7, I think, M flares over the past week. So this is going to be shooting off a lot of X-rays, and then obviously we will get a lot of charged particles in the plasma form coming from the sun and hitting the earth and vibrating the earth. So the earth is definitely going to be picking up. I've just doused the line that's just behind me in this bit of church there, which goes from about here and it goes right across to the other side. So I've just doused that, and it's definitely feeling a lot more sort of on the ball, let's put it that way. A lot more constant, a lot more rhythmical, a lot more complete in a way. And that's because of those M flares that have been coming off. So it actually sort of introduces into the spring season in the Northern Hemisphere very nicely. These X flares, or these M flares, sorry, some of them have been Earth directed, and one will be coming through tonight as this video goes up on the 30th. But we've also had the corona holes come through. So it's been playing a lot with the energies, and it's certainly, if you do have heart issues, you're going to have to get over this speed bump at the moment. So a lot of meditation is in there, relaxation and stuff like that, and letting things go is really important. It's also been very hard on sort of mental health as well. I've certainly felt it over the last week, and it will give anxiety attacks. I'm fortunate I don't really suffer from that, but I certainly do feel the vibrations coming through, and I see it every week within my healing. And there has definitely been a change in people where the emotions are a lot more bipolar in a way. That's the best way to describe it. So sometimes you're really happy and sometimes you're really down. Really happy, really down, really happy, really down. And that sort of creates a lot of problem for the vibration, or the stability within you, and with your energy flow as well. And what we need in order to have a good mental health comes from the body. So basically everything we think about does not come from the brain. It comes from the actual reflection within your body. And this has been really hitting a lot on certain chakras on the world, and therefore it's going to be hitting our chakras as well. You might be able to see here, there's the earthquakes that's been going on over the last week. And as you can well see, according to the World Chakra Map that I did 20 years ago, time flies by when you're having fun. It's hitting mainly the throat chakra and the third eye chakra, which is that mental side of things. But it's also the solar plexus as well. And that's going to be pushing through a lot of angst, really. That's the part that's going to be building up to the head, that's making sort of saying, I want to move on, I want to move on, I want to move on. Can't seem to move on, the world around me is blocking me and everything like that. And it's actually quite difficult. So this is what causes that anxiety, that maybe the anxiety comes when we don't know the information at the start. So it would be better for you to actually sit down and work out what you actually want to do. Once you know that, then you've got to sort of stick to the plan. You've got to stick to what you're doing and what you've set out to do. If you don't, that's when the anxiety is going to come into play, because your solar plexus doesn't like sort of off-the-cuff sort of things. It likes constant fire, determination, confidence, of flowing it through gradually, day by day, minute by minute. So this may have been affecting that sort of thing. With that nervousness that comes out of it, you may well see over the next week or 2 weeks, certainly people who have skin conditions such as eczema and stuff like that, and with those solar flares that have been coming through, it's going to make that bit of surface stuff a little bit more sort of sensitive and things like that. So it may make your eczema a little bit sort of flare up. Get down and see a good healer. I do loads of healing on eczema and stuff like that. I'm constantly doing that. And it's working through that sort of nervous disposition, which is the foundation or the vegetable bed. It's like the earth, the fertile earth, which allows that sort of thing to happen. So it has been, these solar flares, obviously they're going to be affecting other planets such as Mercury and stuff like that. So maybe the messages are not coming through as clearly as you may feel like it if you're getting into your intuition. That may be a little bit affected, that sort of side of things. But it's been mainly affecting really the Earth and Venus, to be honest, over the last few days, after the last few weeks or 10 days. That's what it seems to be sort of pushing a little bit more and pushing out the way, so we're not getting the flow from Venus as much as we were getting. And this has been a recurring theme. Venus should be moving around the back of the sun, so it should be a lot easier for that sort of side of things. And Mercury is still out the way, so it's not too bad, but it might give you a little bit of difficulty with your intuition and stuff like that. For certain signs, it's going to actually ramp it up in a way. I know it sounds bizarre, but that's because that's that inner chakras, those third eye and that throat chakra that is the same chakra that's been being pushed and played with at the moment with the energies that are flowing through. It's normally sort of fire and air. So, that fire can be certainly found within the plexus solis, or the solar plexus, sorry. But also you can find that within the heart as well, because it's where a lot of passion comes from. Fiery passions and hot passions, so you can be hot-hearted, and it does sort of like flow between those sort of two things. It's really about the connection that we have with everything, and our connection to that vibration. If you can ride it like a wave, you won't get crushed by the wave, as it were. So it's good to sort of, set out those plans, as I said, and see what's actually sort of happening with it. The KP index, which is the magnetic field of the Earth, has actually come back to sort of normal phase at this present time. I will be expecting a lot more activity from tonight. That's from the 30th going through. Now, we did have a corona hole that came through about sort of 3 days ago. So that may be, that sparked some sort of earthquakes and stuff like that. But at the same time, because the corona hole was right on the equator, that's signifying the end of that low season. Although it's already been out, we've been in that springtime, that sunshine springtime for the past year and a half, I think. Now we're moving full on into the high vibration of the solar maximum. And that is going to be with us for at least 18 months. So expect these sort of repetitive flare movements that's going to, majority of time, it's going to be doing sort of affecting fire and air. We all have every single element within our signs. If you don't know anything about that, get over to the Astro Flower. We go into a bit about it on there, and I will be doing stuff on there about it. But it mainly would be affecting fire and air. But because those two elements there, it's like yin and yang. If you push on one side, the other side is going to be affected. So it does affect the earth element within all of us and the water element as well. It has, bizarrely enough, and I think this personally, only because maybe I'm a Capricorn, but you guys can tell me even more, tell me how it's been affecting you guys. But it seems to be affecting Capricorns and Taurus mentally. So, because the Capricorn's got a lot of water at its base, but it's also got a lot of air at its base. And it's been affecting that water and earth factor going on within the Capricorn. So it's putting a little bit of, making those thoughts a little bit too quick. For Tauruses, you might feel a little bit more sort of passionate about things and stuff like that. I will be doing a complete rundown of all the signs on the Astro Flower at some point this week. If you haven't seen your weekly readings, do get over and have a look at them, because I will be connecting them to those readings at some point in this next coming days. So yeah, to just see how it sort of like flows through in the next day or so. I'm just going to go and sit over on another place because I want to sit down. Oh, I'm making you seasick, am I? I just want to sit down actually, so because I'm only vaguely just off the line at the moment, and I want to go and sit directly on it because we just want to see what's actually coming through the vibration of the Earth from those solar events. Let me just put my dog down. There you go. There's my dog. Say hello, Cody. No, you don't want him. Fine, fair enough. So let's just see what's going through with the vibrations. It's funny because I'm actually sitting here with my dog, and then there's a statue with a dog licking a man. So, you going to come and say hello to me, Cody? Eh? Or you just want to cuddle, really? He's a lovely dog. Yeah, so let's just get into those sort of vibration. Let's just see what's affecting it on that. Okay. Already it's affecting the circulation by the looks of it in the extremities, so like so hands, feet and stuff like that. So people might find they're getting pins and needles, sort of carpal problems or ankle problems. If you've twisted your ankle a lot, you might find that's a little bit playing you up and stuff like that. Sorry, I got into the other stuff I do on my healing. Let's get into the vibration now on that. Wait for it to connect at the right time. Okay, there it's in. It's gone straight to the crown and the root at the same time. Very quick. And then we're back up there, we're into the throat. These are really, really defined. It's a long time since I've felt it so well defined. And the third eye. And then it goes to the plexus solis. Difficult, hard, harsh, more towards the fire than anything else. Back to the throat. Almost too much for the throat, and that seems to come from the plexus solis just being out of balance. And then we have the sacrum as well, so that's our personal desires that come into place. Moving up, straight back up to the third eye, which is good because these two are in connection. And then it goes to the crown and the root. The throat and back to the clearing. Wow, that's been a long time. So it's quite literally, I think, quite a few, maybe even years. I haven't felt it. It's really clean. Very nice. And I think that's to do with all those M flares that we had. I think it's trying to sort of say, this is what seems to be coming through. Be careful that your eyes are too big for your stomach. Do you understand that phrase? So don't bite off more than you can chew. And that's what it seems like. It seems like ambitions, we're not at the height of our ambitions. So our ambitions might be a little bit too high for us to actually achieve. And it's like the solar plexus is just trying to keep up. It's just trying to follow through. And it's having difficulty in doing that. So the ideas may be flowing correctly, but it might be difficult to actually convert those ideas into concrete things. So coming back to what I said earlier on, bizarrely enough, coming back to what I was saying earlier on, if you want to do things over this coming time, you definitely want to be having that in place where you plan, things are planning. So this is where, earth signs will be a lot easier for them to do. Also water signs will be easier for them to do. It may be a little bit more sort of floaty for the fire signs, a little bit too much for the air, literally flitting more than anything else. And it looks like, fire signs seem to be just trundling on. So your fire signs are getting off again on an easy one. You guys have been getting off quite a lot of my energy updates, I've got to say. I can't wait to be a fire sign in the next life. We'll see. I probably won't be on this planet. But anyway, there you go. That's the sort of vibrations that's been coming on. I'm going to be doing an extra readings on those, on the Astro Flower. So check out in the description below. I do have some more new paradigm videos coming out this week. There's going to be one on pole shift. And there's also one on religion and spirituality for the new paradigm. So don't forget to subscribe, click that bell, because you're going to need to do that in order to get all the notifications for these new videos. Okay? In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.
Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.